Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to September's Mad About Mini paper pads, where on the third Saturday of every month lots and lots of us get together with you to showcase our smaller paper pads, smaller papers, 6x6, even those little 2x2s, 6x8, 8x8, whatever the case may be. And today is day 16 of Scraptember, and the prompt is paper tearing. So this was a fun one to put together. It came together rather quickly. I put it together last Sunday afternoon while I was watching the US Open, the ladies doubles final, and we had a Canadian champion in there, so that was fun. As I had mentioned when I did my kit reveals at the beginning of the month, my collection obsession is Chamel's main character, Energy. I did get the 6x8 pad, and I had it put aside for, of course, this series, but I also used it in a layout, I think, on day 3. Was it day 3 that we did the lovely sketch by Jess from the Scrappy Sisters? So I took 3 pieces of paper from the 6x8 pad, and then I have one here that I went into my stash because I really wanted to get the purple in there as well, in a little bit more of a solid color. So this, in all fairness, was a 12x12 that I cut down so that I would have a 6x8 piece for this layout. So, as I said, this came together very quickly, so it's a share today because I was watching tennis and just enjoying myself. Started with my whipped cream cardstock from the Cardstock Warehouse, and I did a little bit of packaging technique on the background with Heidi Swapp in teal and Vibes in Princess, and I just love those 2 colors together. It is a lovely, lovely combination. Another one that I love and I must try throughout all of this is this lovely purple with some lime green, but we have some teal here. I took my papers, and then in the size they were, I just did some paper tearing, and this is just a fun sort of go-to design of mine. A little bit of a diagonal one. This is a 4x4 or thereabouts. I cut it down, of my little Pookie. Oh gosh, I miss him so much. But lying on my scrap table with my palette knife, having a bit of a nap in between. You can see some photos there, but nothing seems to be on my mat. So I guess we were sort of in between projects. Chopin was having a little bit of a nap with his toy, and hence the title, Mine, because he's hanging onto it. So, did some paper tearing. I cut these strips down to about 4 inches because I didn't want the papers to come to the edges of the paper because I wanted to do some outlining around, and I did. And I have this marker from Stampin' Up, which is Rich Razzleberry, which is a very old one, but it matched perfectly there. So I did my outlining as well. So the little bits that I cut off from here to make this 4 inches, I brought down and sort of tucked them here. I staggered the strips for a little bit of additional interest, and here under the photo I actually tore them in 2 so that I could get more than just a 6-inch span down here. These are 6 inches, and then these are cut so that I could get a little bit more out of them, and then the top piece is back to being 6 inches. Where I did use some of the leftover bits from there, I've been able to camouflage that fairly well, I think, with a little bit of embellishment. But once the packaging technique is down, the photo popped up on foam, and I matted it in a scrap from the same cardstock so that it would stand out a little bit more. Popped it on foam and matted it, so it definitely stands out and gives a good shadow underneath. Got my photo down, and then I wanted to bring in some circular elements. So of course I brought in the wood buttons from the Chamel main character Energy, and I popped this up here because of course I used the gorgeous Fitzgerald. So pop that. I went into my Bramble Fox Kitty and Puppy stash, and I got a paw here in this lovely turquoise blue, and then just popped a little puppy sticker there for today. I was thinking I might want to put get some sequins out or something. In the end I didn't, or pop a little star or a heart. I'm not sure it needs it. Yeah, see, it's almost a little too much. So, and I think here I sort of have a little bit of a triangle, so we will leave it as is. And then did I glue that? Yes, I did. I got a flare piece down here that's sort of a watercolor, so it mimics a little bit the packaging technique in the background. Popped that there. And as you know, I like mixing my sizes and textures, so I have flare here. Another fun Bramble Fox perspective bit, which is a little ball of yarn in this lovely yellow. It's a little bit of a brighter yellow, but it's just perfect. And another small wood button, a smaller one. So there are two sizes in the wood buttons. And then over here, I wasn't quite sure. I knew I wanted to get, I started playing with some flare, but in the end, in my little package here, if you recall early on, one of the first layouts, I had gone into my stash as a little bit of a nod to Rediscover Your Stash for this month, which is to mix old and new, and brought in some older die-cut pieces from both Chamel and Paige Evans. And this sort of floral was just staring at me. So I popped it there, popped one of the foam florals there to give an added little bit of whimsy, another paw, perspective paw here, and a smaller wood button. And my friends, that will sort of do this layout. I think I might do just a little bit of journaling right here, just to say how much Chopin loved to lie on the desk, of course, and you've seen other layouts. I miss that tremendously. I still actually don't go over that edge when I scrapbook. It's just because I did it for so many years. This boy, 16 years of lying on my scrap desk. So I still don't go over that area. So half the scrap table, it remains in honor of Chopin. But how he used to just love to be up on that desk when I scrapbooked. And he loved grabbing, you'll see I'm going to do another layout about the trimmer, because if he wasn't resting his head on the trimmer, he was grabbing something. He loved the markers, and that I was very careful not to leave on the desk, because knowing my little guy, the cap would probably come off. And grabbing either a spatula or a couple of other supplies. So there you go, my friends. Make sure you pop on down below. Everybody who is playing along with Mad About Mini Paper Pads will be linked down below, as well as the Scraptember playlist. And there is just so much inspiration there. I also have, of course, the Scrappy Sisters channel, as well as Laura Alberts. And if you want even more inspiration, pop on over to the Scraptember Facebook group. And there's a lot of activity going on my channel this weekend and over the next few days. So thank you so much for being here as always. I love all of your comments and your support and your encouragement. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for being with me. Bye for now.